Hey y'all, come on in. I'll get started in a second. Hey, hey, come on in. Yes. So I'm glad y'all are liking the YouTube switch. It won't be every day, but as much as I can throughout the week. Um, I'm gonna be on here more. Cause TikTok, y'all know they put too many guidelines on me. But the video that I did the other day, yes, yesterday, no, the day before that, they put a fact check on that video about reptilians. So I mean, at least they didn't, ban the video. At least I was able to talk the whole time, no interruptions. So I really don't give a damn. You could put whatever you want to put on the fucking video. Just let the bitch stay up there. That's the goal. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. It really don't matter. As long as the overall purpose is served, then that's what is important. Okay, so a couple of things that I wanted to talk about in regards to the lady on a plane. Now, first of all, I hope y'all having a good day. Um, yeah, YouTube is a little bit stricter, but as long as they don't ban my video, I don't care. It really doesn't make me no difference. My whole thing is getting the information out there. People can do whatever they want with the information, but you can't say Poca kept it from me. That's what you can't say. But anyway, so again, I hope y'all having a great day so far. Whatever. It's been raining every other day where I live. I live in DC. It's been raining every other fucking day, and it's really getting exhausting because I miss the sun. But whatever. Um, but a couple of things that I've ran into, a couple of other theories about the lady on the plane. If you don't know about the lady on the plane, I'm gonna give you a quick little summary to bring you up to speed. It's going to be very brief, so you can, do your own personal further research. Um, but basically, and the airport is the one it is the Denver airport. So a plane is about to take off or has taken off from the Denver airport. This lady is in the back of the plane. She basically randomly is startled by somebody that is on the plane with them. Um, she tries to tell the flight attendants at first, like without really making too big of a scene. And I don't know what happened or what didn't happen. But long story short, she got spooked so bad that she, even in the video, was like she don't even want her shit. She don't care about getting her stuff. She just wants to get the fuck off the plane. And she points to the back and says that motherfucker back there is not real. You know, insinuating that whoever is in the back of that plane is not a real person or something of the sort. So, my initial theory, number one, was I believe that she saw something. Now, at this point, we are in a season where, number one, we're in the age of Aquarius, which means that information is at an all-time high. Whatever fuck you have been curious about, this is the time to investigate it. Whatever you've been trying to figure out, this is the time to figure it out. Whatever you have been doing or not doing, Okay, this is the time to get it done or to stop doing it. Okay, there's really no excuse for nobody not knowing shit at this point because of the fact that information is literally at your fingertips or literally within you. Most of the information that we melanated beings are privy to, we were born with. And, it's your job to reignite that flame and reconnect with those parts of you so that you can get that understanding and the information that you need. Period. So, because of that and all of those different things, it's so easy at this point to see through a lot of stuff. We have always been sharing this planet. We've always been sharing this planet with other species. I mean, that's just nothing new. Like I said yesterday, down to the different hieroglyphs, down to the different paintings on the wall and artifacts and things of that nature. It is proof that other species of, beings, okay, have been here and are here. And that we've been in contact with them for at least hundreds of thousands of years that can be proven based on the age of some of these hieroglyphs and artifacts. So, with that being said, of course, we weren't privy to it because we were in a sleep stage. That's why we call it an awakening, because you're in a sleep stage, you're in a place where you're not really able to see because you are still completely engulfed in the matrix. Right? Again, like the Truman Show. I don't know if y'all went and watched the Truman Show since the other day that we talked about it. If you haven't, go check it out, please. If you have, then you understand that, he was born on a set thinking that this shit was his real life. Literally. He motherfucking was a baby, grew up on a whole movie set, and had no fucking idea that the people around him were not the people that they said they were, that his parents weren't the people that they said they were, that his friends, that his job, his boss, his co-workers, the people that he knew up and down the street, all of this shit was fake. And at the end of it, he takes that fucking boat and he tries to cross the fucking water like, I'm just going to go to another island. I'm going to go somewhere else away from you motherfuckers. And he hits a wall. So we were born sleep, unaware. Well, I'm not going to say completely unaware because as a child, you have the most awareness. But when that awareness is not fed, when that awareness is not monitored, when that awareness is not, if somebody's not teaching you more about it, if you don't use it, you lose it. That's just how that goes. So we are born into this realm with awareness, but we become unaware through our environment, through the matrix, through trauma, through things of that nature. That's just what it is. So our job at this point is to reawaken to the inner knowledge, the inner wisdom, the inner, library that we all have because of our genetics and because of who the fuck we are. We are not of this realm. And it really is important for you to understand that, because if you don't understand that you're not even from this motherfucker, you're not going to understand how there's other beings that are here that are not from here. It starts with you understanding you. Because you the first alien. You the first, extraterrestrial being. You were the first to drop here. And you have to understand that. And until you understand that, then again, you won't understand how vast that's why they call that shit the multiverse. Because it is not just this. It is not just this, okay? Remember, they take all of these different things and that are true to spirituality, that are true to who we are. They manipulate it and they give it back to you in a whole nother light. Okay? Zuckerberg didn't just come up with the multiverse. That wasn't just a drop in the can. Y'all gotta follow all of these different fucking names. And the significance that they have and the roles that they actually play and what's actually going on. So back to the Denver airport. The Denver airport is known for having all of these fucking tunnels. Do your research, okay? There's so many videos of the tunnels, of people talking about the tunnels, people who have worked there, people who are currently working there, people who have went missing at this motherfucking airport, never seen or heard from again. It is known, or suspected for trafficking and things of that nature. So this airport has a lot of history when it comes to, secrecy, when it comes to, just weird shit going on, weird happenings as they want to make us think. But again, I tell you all the time, nothing is coincidental. It's not just a coincidence that this particular airport, out of all of them, has this the number one slot on the what the fuck is this list. That's just not a fucking coincidence. So if you research into the Denver airport, then you will see that, again, they have this crazy ass history. So this is the same place that this video takes place, which is why I was prone to lean in toward the side of this shit being true or having some type of significance. Now, at the same time, everything is a distraction. And you gotta understand that, right? Everything is a distraction, and anything can be used as a distraction, even if it is true. If it's being publicized, excuse me, then usually it's for a reason, right? I always tell you, wherever the news points, you need to be looking in the opposite direction. So if this is picking up traffic enough to be broadcasted on the news and they're not doing everything in their power to hide it, then it makes me look at it differently. And me being a Gemini, I have no problem adjusting my stance based on new facts, because that's just what it's about. It's about the facts. Now, based on the current facts that I'm seeing, from my personal view, do I still think that it is a possibility that there could have been a being on that plane? Absolutely. Because we walk amongst them and have been walking amongst them for a very long time. And when I put the post on Facebook the other day, there were so many people who commented talking about their own personal experiences with seeing, other beings, having personal, encounters and interactions with other beings, or, just very, very weird and off energies that you just know this cannot be a human entity, or, I'm dealing with something greater than, just a human entity. Okay? So it's not far-fetched at all. It is really not. On top of the fact that, like I said, we're in the age of Aquarius, the veil is lifting. You can see whatever the fuck you want to see at this point. You just got to tap in to get it. So it's not far-fetched, again, that she could have seen something. And if she is acting, she is an amazing fucking actor, because, bitch, you sold me. That's just that on that. But I do feel like there's some type of significance with the video as far as exposure. Sometimes they use these types of situations to expose truth. Now, remember, I'll tell y'all, they have to tell us the truth about things, but it's no specific way that they have to tell it. They have to, communicate things, but there is no specific way that they have to communicate it. And remember, silence is compliance. So there's been so many sightings, that have been broadcasted publicly in regards to foreign species. You had the man that saw the giant that came up missing. You had the family with the people in the backyard that ain't nobody heard from. Then you have this lady that ain't nobody heard from since the incident. And a part of me feels like if and when we do hear from her, her story is going to change. If her story changed, then it might be some significance to it. But if she tells the same story on a public platform, then I don't know. That's not really going to help her case with me. I'm just going to be really, really honest. But at the same time as this is coming out and all of this is going on, there is a movie that is released. This movie is called The Sound of Freedom. I've been trying to find it so I can watch it free online, because I do not want to go to the movie theaters. But it looks like I'm going to either have to wait until another platform streams it, or I'm going to be forced to go to the fucking movie theaters. Either way, if you can go see it, go see it. I think it's showing at like select theaters right now. So hopefully, you are in an area that is showing it. Look it up, in your area and see, and definitely go check it out. I'm gonna explain what the movie is and the significance. Once I start explaining it, y'all gonna know the significance. But I want to get this man name straight. Make sure I'm not butchering his name. Yeah, okay. It's called Sound of Freedom. Okay, Sound of Freedom. And this movie is about trafficking, child trafficking specifically. And it is basically a kind of like a docu series movie. It is based on a real Caucasian man. Okay, and I feel like in situations like this, let the Caucasians do it, because they'll be able to get into doors that we can't get into, and they have access to shit that we just at this point don't have access to right now. So let them go do it. Shit, it's their fault. Let them go do it. But shout out to him. His name is Tim Ballard. And basically what he does is he sets up, not really sets up, but he basically has a task force, if you will, that goes around the country and basically does these sting operations with these child trafficking rings, and bring some of these babies home. There are a lot of interviews, of course, of him right now. This movie is being backed by Mel Gibson. If you know who Mel Gibson is, he's, a well-renowned actor. And he's been kind of ousted by Hollywood or Hollyweird because of his openness in regards to child trafficking. And of course, a lot of all of them allegedly is with the shit. So he's been, kind of outcasted, but he created this movie working along with Tim Ballard, who the movie is based off of. And it's basically about, rescuing children from these situations. Tim Ballard did release some actual video footage of him, doing some of these sting operations, which was really dope and fucking scary at the same time. He also has a lot of interviews talking about, his different encounters, his different operations, the I think he said when he first started, he had to go through some tapes from a pedophile. They basically had seized the tapes from this dude who had all of this child porn, and he said he put the first video in, and it was 3 children getting raped by a man. And he was like, he went home, well, he went to his children's school, picked his kids up, went home, and just was just fucking crying, just distraught. And he said that was just one video of hundreds that they had seized from this guy. So who fucking knows what all type of sadistic ass disgusting shit, these motherfuckers had access to, which is just, it makes my fucking skin crawl. So the movie is based on him and his, like I said, his operations coming against these trafficking rings. And they said over 1 million children get trafficked per year. I don't know if y'all understand how much that is, because they said over 1 million, which means a million is bare minimum. So 13 years, at least 13 million children have been trafficked. That is absolutely fucking insane. So this movie has been buried by the press. No one's talking about it. Now y'all know any other fucking movie, y'all would have heard about it. A lot of y'all haven't even heard about it. I didn't even hear about the fucking movie until a week ago. So I don't fucking know. They've been burying it. The media has not been talking about it. I think that could be one of the possibilities as to why this whole plane situation has went up the way that it has, or has even just gotten the coverage. Like sometimes, like I said, they'll use a real story to boost whatever agenda, or, sometimes they'll completely make up some shit. And it's hard to tell, Like I said, I'm waiting to hear from the girl if she ever says anything. If she never says anything, that's going to make me kind of suspicious. But if she comes forward and kind of denies it and says that she was drunk, that's also going to make me suspicious. So I really don't know. In regards to that situation, like I said, just use that situation, or, this plain thing regardless, as a researching point. Go research the Denver airport. Go research, other airports that have been used in this type of capacity where, they have tunnels and stories of sightings of different things, or, reports of missing people, or, whatever the case is. And as far as that movie, definitely go check it out. Definitely go see it. If you find a way to get that shit for free, please let me know. I just do not feel like paying for no movie ticket. I'm just gonna be so honest. I just don't. I don't want to go to the movies. But I'm gonna probably have to. Either way, let me know if you do. If it's one of them little movie apps, let me know. I checked some of them the other day, and there was nothing on there. It is a new movie. It just came out on the 4th, so it'll probably take a minute for, people to get their copies going on. So I don't know how that works, but if you find it, if you see it, let me know. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, as far as this whole Keke Palmer situation, right? I feel like this could also be another layer of either distraction, or there's something else that's going to come out that is happening or had happened while this situation was going on. Remember, y'all, I be telling y'all, they use Hollywood. It's called The Sound of Freedom. They use Hollywood, and these actors and actresses and all of these people, they are not just paid to be on big screens. Well, actually, they are, because you watch them on big screen. So technically, yeah, they are. I take that back. I retract that. They are paid to be on big screens, including your TV at all times, no matter what station you're looking at them on, including your phone, no matter what app you're looking at it at. You have to start looking at these motherfucking celebrities like who they fucking are. Actors and actresses. Artists. They take on new forms, they do new things, they play new roles. None of this shit is fucking real. And the more you get attached, I mean, I'm just scrolling down TikTok, and every other fucking video that I see, you got people going live talking about this shit. You got people making whole ass videos. It's a distraction. It has no relevance to any motherfucking thing going on right now. Like it's you can go do the research. I don't want to give the story itself more than what the fuck is getting already. There are thousands of stories, posts, and explanations of it. You can go check it out, But my whole thing is to say, when it comes to Hollywood, these motherfuckers will do anything to keep you asleep because it's in a contract. That's what they gotta do. All of these motherfuckers sign. All of them. A-list, B-list, D-list, shit, Z-list. It don't fucking matter. How small you think they are, how big you think they are. They all have a role. They all have a motherfucking purpose. They all have a platform for a purpose, whether they are aware of it or not. Because some of these motherfuckers do just be being themselves. And these motherfuckers know the version of themselves that they're being is exactly what they need in order, to do whatever the fuck they trying to do or to distract whoever they trying to motherfucking distract. So you got all of these motherfuckers, like for example, and we was talking about this on TikTok, the BET Awards. That shit is embarrassing as hell. Like for shit like Sexy Red, that song, for that to even be a popular song. Like I remember back in the day, like in the 2000s, okay, when I was, like middle school, high school, when if a song came out like that, that shit was trash. You did not look at that as like this is lit. That was like, what the fuck is this? Like the quality of artists, and I'm not saying every artist back then was peachy and squeaky clean, because that's just not facts. But there was a clear distinction of like what is appropriate and what's not. If you did like that damn song, you wasn't singing it in front of your mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying you can't have a relationship with your children, to that extent or whatever the case is, and they be comfortable. But I just feel like at a certain point, like, where do we draw the line of boundaries? Like, where do we have a conversation, you know what I'm saying, with our people and let them know, like, that shit is embarrassing as fuck. All of the bomb ass artists that are out right now that got amazing fucking songs that actually concentrate on the artistry, that actually make the music because they love the music, okay? And they will never get that exposure. They will never be able to sit at a BET Awards because they are talented. They will never get that. All this bitch had to do was tell you the color of her coochie and her booty hole. And she's sitting at a BET Awards, and y'all don't see nothing wrong with that. The whole world's just going along with the shit. Like, yeah, that makes a whole lot of motherfucking sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. Come on, bro. It's so many artists, like I said, that deserve that credit, that deserve that acknowledgement. So many artists who have written for people that everybody love, and they got their own music, and these motherfuckers can't even give them a shout out. And they ghost writing for a lot of your favorites. I told y'all about them studios that they have in Hollywood, where it's these big ass buildings, and it's just full of studios, personal little studios. Each room is a studio. And all of these motherfuckers are contracted to make music all day. They just sit in there and they make music. And it's like a music factory, damn near, in a sense. They make music all day. These motherfucking producers come in there. They listen to songs. They choose songs. They put their little 1-2 on it, and then they give it to whatever fucking artist they're gonna give it to. And you sit here thinking that these motherfuckers then came up with these songs and these lyrics and shit. No. But they'll get on the stage and give a bitch like that some credit. Let her get up there and shake her ass, and they'll do a feature on her song. You know. Like, why? We're in a place where the more vulgar you are, the more hypersexual you are, the more clout you get, the more you are promoted or plastered or, um, you know, pumped up. And then they make you think like, oh, this is femininity. This is living in your truth. No, it's living in pain. You are hurt. And the industry don't mind taking advantage of a hurt little girl and helping her to bust her coochie open all over the motherfucking internet. They don't give a fuck because you're making the motherfucking money. Hold on, y'all. You making them all the money in the world, so they're not gonna tell you to stop. They're not gonna get you therapy. They're not gonna, get you help or assistance and help you become a better person. No, they're gonna capitalize off of your stupidity, off of your pain, off of your ignorance, off of your, um, you being naive. And once they squeeze you dry, and they get whatever, all of they can, all of that they can get out of you, they're gonna let your ass go and throw you back to the wolves, and you gonna have to figure that shit the fuck out. Or you gonna sell your soul and give their ass more. That's how that shit go. They make you feel like you on top of the world, and they let your ass go. That's why you see these motherfucking these celebrities, they take these long ass breaks. Jennifer Hudson, they get the fuck for a long ass time, and then they come back with these random careers that's been boosted out of fucking nowhere. They like they just come out of nowhere with shit because they want it back in. These motherfuckers be wanting back in. They try to make it happen on their own. Some of them get blacklisted. Dame Dash. But they come back. Because they can't make that money nowhere else. They want the fame, they want the stardom. You get addicted to that. It's about power. It's not necessarily about the money. The money gives you access. Access is power. That's what people don't understand. It's not necessarily about the actual money. It's about the access that you get because of it. The places you could put yourself in, the places you could go, the people you can meet, the rooms you could be in, and because of that, you're able to get other things, see other things, expose yourself to other things that you wouldn't have had the exposure to had you not had that money. So the power comes from the access. It's almost like I can get, into rooms that you can't. I can do shit that you can't. I know things that you don't. Access is also knowledge, right? You got to be at a certain level in order to have certain knowledge. The people at the bottom don't have the knowledge of the people at the top, and they never will, because they're not supposed to. Because usually the knowledge that they have affects the motherfuckers at the bottom. And they built it that way. That's the type of motherfucking, society these motherfuckers have created. And because we have fallen asleep, been put under a spell, these motherfuckers literally sung us a lullaby and put us the fuck to sleep for 400 years. Because of that, they've been able to capitalize off of our ignorance or off of our drowsiness. And every time, we'll kind of come to these motherfuckers and knock our ass out with a whole nother level of the fucking matrix. Once you think it's over, here comes something else. Once you think that's over, here comes something else. Once you think you kind of starting to be aware of some shit, here go another distraction. Here goes some shit to throw you off. And they frame it like this. That's why it's called a matrix, because there's so many different fucking levels of the shit for you to get the fuck out. And most of it is mental. This is why I tell y'all, meditating, you know what I'm saying? Really tapping in is the best access to knowledge you will ever have. Learning how to focus your mind, how to quiet your mind, how to, contact and communicate with your spirit team, how to access the spiritual realm through the third eye. Because once you're able to silence that fucking mind, you can hear. You can hear you. Remember, you are the soul. That's why when you in a quiet ass room, when you by yourself, sometimes you get in a car, you don't put on no fucking music. You just be riding in silence. Because you are programmed to hear that inner motherfucking voice. Whether you paying attention to it or not. Whether you go with the flow or not. Whether you acknowledge it or not. It doesn't change the fact that you programmed to that motherfucker. But that's why you can hear so clearly. That's why you can come up with ideas and solutions and figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? When you are in those quiet spaces. Because when you silence the fucking mind, you heighten the spirit. Try that mantra when you're meditating. I silence the mind, I heighten my spirit. I silence the mind, I heighten the spirit. I silence the mind, I heighten the spirit. Or however the fuck you want to say it. I don't give a damn. Create your own chant, your own mantras. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you, works for you. But the whole point is, sometimes in meditation, the best thing to do is focus on something outside of you just trying to fucking sit there and not think about nothing. Because the goal is not to have no thoughts. That's impossible for you to never have no thoughts. Even like I said, thinking about not thinking is a thought. So it's impossible for you to not have a thought. But what you are learning to do is to focus on one thing at a time so that you can channel whatever that thing is and really understand it in its fullness. It's almost like, for example, and y'all know I like to give y'all examples so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Have y'all seen the factory lines, right? If you work at Amazon or anywhere where they had them factory lines and it's stuff just moving on that little belt, right? And you supposed to stand there and either scan it or look at it and make sure that the shit is not broken or defected or whatever the fuck your job is. There's a line, right? And this shit is moving through. Okay? Now imagine if that motherfucker was sped up 10 times his normal fucking rate. And you supposed to look at every single one individually to make sure that it's good. How the fuck do you think that you're going to get that done? Don't you think some things are going to slip through the cracks? You're going to have some that are defected that made it through because the shit is going so motherfucking fast. There's no way you can inspect it. There's no way you can figure it out. There's no way you can look it over and make sure that it is what it's supposed to be, or that it looks the way it's supposed to look, or whatever. That's how your mind is running, like a fucking conveyor belt, okay? And you got 50,000 fucking items on that bitch going at the same time, fast as fuck. And you out here trying to figure out why shit is slipping through the motherfucking cracks. Bitch, the shit is going 70 miles an hour. How do you think that you're going to be able to be thorough with the stuff going that fast? So when you meditate, what you're doing is you're slowing that motherfucking machine down. Another way that you can look at it. Have y'all seen the movie Wanted with Angelina Jolie and the other little white boy? I don't know his name. Angelina Jolie in this movie basically was there to manipulate this man into unaliving his father, who was a part of this like elite group of unalivers. Okay. And there was one scene with the dude and Morgan Freeman. If you haven't watched this movie, go watch it. It's a really bomb. It's really a good ass fucking movie. But there's one scene where Morgan Freeman is telling the white boy to shoot the wings off of a fly that's at the trash can. And he said, how the fuck I'm going to shoot the wings off the damn fly at the trash can and the fly is moving? I can't fucking shoot that. It's moving all over the place. I can't do that. He was like, you need to focus. So he slowed his motherfucking heart rate down in his mind. And at the time that he did this shit, the fucking shit started going in slow motion. Long story short, he was able to see the wings, shoot them bitches off perfectly, and the fly was still alive. Okay? So, moral of the story, when you slow shit the fuck down, you can hit your target. There's no way that you're going to be able to see what something is, figure out what something is, go through the different steps of making sure it is what it's supposed to be. If you're moving through things 100 miles an hour, okay? And a lot of y'all are moving so fast because you feel like you were on some type of clock, or that there is something that, is forcing you to motherfucking pay so much attention, or I gotta get this done, I gotta hurry up, or my anxiety because I think it's gonna go bad, I'm just gonna rush through all of this shit, or I'm used to shit going bad, so I'm so anxious, I just don't know how to take my time. This is why healing is so important. That's why I told y'all this shit go hand in hand. You can't do none of this shit without shadow work. Because a lot of the things that make you the way you are attached to your upbringing, your traumas. And until you start to really pay close attention to those things and tap in with those things and figure out what the fuck those things are, you're going to continuously be blinded, not just by this motherfucking matrix, but by the people around you, by jobs, by strangers, you know what I'm saying, by everybody. You're not going to be able to see nothing coming your way. And that's not a place to be, right? Not only are we in a war as far as, spiritually, we are in a tug of war right now. Well, pretty much we won. We just kicking niggas out the castle, pretty much, and they still trying to attack. Okay, we clearing out the White House before we move in, pretty much. That's what's going on right now. And it's going to take a couple years to get this shit done, so we're not in a rush. However, because of that, we are also prompted to fix ourselves individually, because we can't do none of this shit. We cannot achieve the bigger scope of things if we are not first where we need to be as individuals. It's just not going to motherfucking work. If we are not in position, you know what I'm saying? If we are not, like I said, where we're supposed to be, it's just not going to work. It's and the only way you can be where you're supposed to be is by knowing yourself. The only way you can know yourself is by spending time with yourself. And that's called healing. That's called self-care. That's called shadow work. Learning that shadow. The shadow is who? The shadow is the parts of me that I don't see. The parts of me that hide in the dark. The parts of me that come out at night. That's the shadow. Okay? And until you get to know that motherfucker, then she's going to be running shit. It's almost like having two managers at a store and these motherfuckers don't communicate. One got the night shift, one got the day shift. And these motherfuckers do not communicate. They don't even know each other. They ain't never met each other. How the fuck do you think the workers is going to be able to do their job, or the store is going to be able to run properly, or things are going to be able to, go the way they're supposed to, if these motherfuckers not having no conversations or not getting to know one another? It's a cohesive thing. And until you learn those dark parts of yourself in order to control it, right? Because it's not about killing that part of yourself. Once it's there, it's there. Okay? That's just a part of the ego. That's a part of that shadow self. This is when we get into that Christ and Satan theory. That mindset, that higher and lower vibration, or the different, the balance, the yin and yang of the mind. You have to have both. And until you get a relationship, built between the two, you're just gonna be anywhere. One day you're gonna be like this, the next day you're gonna be like this. And you're not even gonna know what the fuck is going on. Some of y'all be feeling some types of ways and doing shit, and you don't even know why you did it. You don't even know where that came from. You don't even know why you did that shit until afterwards, and you think about it. Like, why the fuck did I even do that? Why did I think that was okay? Or you feel bad about it. Your consciousness starts to kick the fuck in. That's not okay. We have to be aware of ourselves so that we can be aware of what's going on the fuck around us. If I'm not even aware within myself, then how the fuck I'm going to pay attention to shit that is happening outside of me? There's no way. There's no motherfucking way. And this is how these people manipulate us. They continue to inflict trauma or lead us towards, traumatizing ideologies and mentalities, then they also play games to affect the ideologies that we had. For example, the black family structure. That was an attack from the beginning. There's multiple books on, that Caucasian people have wrote in regards to attacking the black family structure in order to, dismantle the black community. They knew that first going after the men, when you go after the men, you're going after the protection. That's like walking up to a lion herd or tribe, whatever the fuck you want to call them. And you think that the male lion not gonna meet your motherfucking ass before you think you gonna walk around with his wives and his kids is? It's not fucking happening. So they destroy the man first to get him the fuck up out the way. Because if the man is not around, there's no protection. So how did they destroy the man? Well, a lot of it was, number one, emasculating them, putting them in jail, making them do things that were sexually explicit to people that they love, or having sexually explicit things happening to them against their will, inflicting trauma as far as, hoisting them in trees and things of that nature, and frying them up and cooking them and barbecuing them and shit in front of their family to emasculate the man. All of this shit was done on purpose. Look at your protector, be unalived in front of you. Or look at your protector be defeated in front of you. It started with that. Then they moved on to promoting interracial relationships, or being integrated. The idea of fighting to be amongst the very people who have done everything in their power to, manipulate and control us. So they started to allow the black man into spaces that the black woman couldn't go or wasn't allowed into. The work scene, she couldn't vote, she couldn't have a bank account, she couldn't. They gave him access to certain things that woman didn't have access to. And because of that, the structure started to change, because the man then started to take on, the black man specifically, or melanated man, started to take on this patriarchal idea that I'm in charge of my woman. He got that shit from them Caucasian motherfuckers. I control her. She do what I say. She's supposed to fix all my meals and wash my clothes and take care of the kids. And all I'm supposed to do is go out here and work. And that's it. And I'm going to come home. And that's where that fucked up ass mentality came from. That shit is patriarchal. And fucking stupid. If you think that your wife is supposed to be your motherfucking slave and concubine. That's fucking crazy. This is when we get into religion. Religion is for men. It's not. It has nothing to do with the divine feminine. It is all about men. That's why every other fucking word in that damn book is he. He, his, he. They gave women a couple little stories just in case these bitches wanted to revolt or something. Or wake the fuck up, because they knew the women were the intuitive ones. That's why they put them in the Bible as messy. The women start shit in the church. It's literally scriptures where motherfuckers are saying that the women is not supposed to speak because they start shit. So all of this programming to, turn us against each other. Again, if slavery did happen at the, to the extent that they claim, not saying it didn't happen, but I don't think it happened to the extent that they claim, and they gave these motherfuckers the Bible and the Bible only, it just goes to show what type of mentality they wanted these motherfuckers to be in. And this is why some of our great-grandmothers and great-great-grandmothers and some of our grandmothers, were in these motherfucking relationships with these men beating their ass or touching on their children. This is why the black woman has been put in a position where she allows this type of motherfucking behavior, because she was programmed and she was taught in the beginning that men can do whatever the fuck they want to do. And because you don't have access to shit, and because you can't pay your own bills and get your own money and take care of yourself, you have to stick around for the bullshit. And this is why, these people in these older generations are not understanding how now, the millennials and those after us who are watching us are starting to take the initiative to take their motherfucking time. Not jumping into these motherfucking marriages. Our grandparents and great-grandparents was getting married at like 15, 16. Some of them younger than that, 12. This shit was happening here in the motherfucking United States. We always want to look at these other motherfucking countries, but we forget that this perverted ass shit goes wherever they go. And if they're here, the bullshit is here too. So you gotta fuck understand. Getting married young as fuck, having kids young as fuck. And then you got the Bible to back up certain weird shit. As far as, when once a young lady gets on her menstrual, she's old enough to be a wife or bear children. That's where that weird ass shit come from. So you got all of these people who feel like it's okay. It's okay. It's in the Bible. It's okay. God told them that they could do it. He ain't never saying that we can't, but he damn sure said that we could. So they're justified in their bullshit, and we wonder why the fucking church is so toxic, because it was created to justify this patriarchal ass system, and people are so addicted to it because that's all the fuck they know, and it's really out of fear. Women are the women who are in the church are in the church out of fear. Because every woman has an intuition, and you can't motherfucking tell me that you in that bitch every day and something ain't pulling on your motherfucking coattails, asking you some questions in private. You can't tell me that your mind don't get to wandering when you read in that piece of shit book with some of that vile ass stuff in there. You can't fucking sit here and tell me that that's not going on in your head. And then for you to try to justify it is the same way them old ladies justify them men doing what the fuck they want to do. It's the same ideology. It's the same thing. This is why them creepy ass, nasty ass, perverted ass uncles are still allowed around. And the child that they then manipulated and traumatized has to be subjected to the bullshit, or is not believed, or is not protected by the very women that are supposed to be her tribe. And you wonder why these females is out here throwing ass and pussy all over the place? Come on, bro. I just seen a story on TikTok about this lady named Beloved Dillard or something like that. Go look her up on YouTube. She basically gives her story about how her stepfather was molesting her since she was in diapers, and how her mother knew, and her mother would basically pick fights with her and beat on her and tell her she ain't gonna be shit and manipulate her, all out of jealousy because the damn daddy, the stepdaddy, wouldn't keep his motherfucking hands off of her and her siblings, but specifically traumatized her the most because of the fact that he had the most infatuation with her. That shit is generational curses. We wonder how generational curses start. Shit like that. Now, if that lady would not have came out into the world and decided to heal, and instead decided to inflict more pain to other people based on her pain, I mean, she would have a reason to. And I'm not validating, that anybody is correct for acting out, just because they're hurt. Because we all have a duty to know how to separate whose fault it is. You can't go out in the world treating people any type of way just because of your personal pain. That's not fair. But at the same time, I, of course, understand, where people are as far as their journey and their pain, and how sometimes it's hard to separate reality from what you're experiencing in your head or what you have experienced based on trauma. So, again, it goes back to healing. It goes back to shadow work. A lot of people think that you can just hop on this journey and it's just about knowing about the aliens and the reptilians and all of the other, stuff in the moon landing and all the conspiracy theories and all of that. It's not just about that. The main thing is connecting with yourself, understanding that you are the God of your reality. And if you don't make it happen, it won't happen. If you don't get up and do it, it will never fucking happen for you. That's just that. I don't know who needs this wake up call, but if you do not get the fuck up and make it happen, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be a random miracle that just comes to you just because you want it real bad and you got kids, or you want it real bad and you've been hurt, or you want it real bad and you've been done wrong in your motherfucking life. It's not just going to pop up in your motherfucking life because you feel like you should have it. It's going to come through working for the motherfucker, because you are the God of your own reality, meaning that you have to create the shit. You got to put the motherfucking hammer to the nail yourself. and allow the elements to work in your motherfucking favor. But you gotta be the one motherfucking manipulating that shit. You are the alchemist. The elements have power within themselves, absolutely, but they can't come together to be what they're supposed to be, in the overall scope of things if you do not physically take part in the whole motherfucking process. So this is a time for y'all to really tap in. If you need assistance with shadow work, y'all know I have mentorships and services to help. I'm doing a lot of price specials right now on shadow work and mentoring services. Like I said, on Tuesdays, I want to start doing healing and shadow work sessions via Zoom. That service would be $35 per Tuesday. If you're interested, there's also package deals if you want to group in other sessions. Of course, one-on-one mentorships are available. Consultations are available. If you don't know what you need, but you just know it's time to tap in or it's time to get more serious, then y'all know where to find me. But even if you don't work with me, go see a therapist. Go do your own work. Y'all know I have a shadow work guide that's on Amazon. I'm gonna put all of the information in the description of the video. Or you can go to my personal Facebook or any of my other socials, and you'll see the book and click the link there, and you'll be able to get it. But either way, it's time to tap in. It's time to get serious about y'all journeys. If you say you really, about this shit and you really serious about being chosen and a star seed and oh my God, I told y'all love to throw out these names. But then when life start giving you what's on the menu that comes with them motherfucking titles, y'all be acting like you ain't say it. No, you can't take it back, bro. You cannot take it back. Once you get that title, you gotta meet the descriptions of that motherfucking title. And you can't, renege just because it's getting a little uncomfortable or just because you didn't expect all of that. Oh, motherfucking well. If you're going to take on that title, then you're going to take on everything that fucking comes with it, which includes the challenges. Because that's what they are. They're challenges. It's not the universe beating you up. It's not nobody put a fucking spell on your ass. Half of these bitches do not know how to do spell work. Okay? I'm really tired of y'all walking around and running around thinking that motherfuckers doing spells on you. The only spell that is on you is the ones that you put on yourself with all of that negative ass thinking and talking that you be motherfucking doing and all that lazy ass energy and you not moving the fuck around and getting shit the fuck done. That's the only spell that's on your motherfucking ass. Okay? Because you're fucking lazy and you're not doing what you need to do. Hard pill, swallow it. Okay? But at the end of the day, the whole point is go get the motherfucking assistance, go get the help you need, or tap the fuck in to get the information and assistance that you need. If you want to allow yourself to your inner self to guide you, then have at it. But when you do that, you need to listen to that motherfucker. Okay, because it's not just about having the form of spirituality as far as, oh, I got bracelets, oh, I got necklaces, oh, I got scarves on my head, oh, I meditate, oh, I do this, oh, I do that. It's not just about that. It's about the energy that comes along with this motherfucking journey, the energy that you get, the energetic boost, the elevation, the ascension that fucking happens because you're tapping in with yourself, which is the main priority. Building the relationship with yourself and connecting with your spirit team is the top priority. Healing from your traumas and seeing things from a different perspective is the top priority. If you're ready, inbox me. You know where to find me. All of these things are our top priority. Okay? Not you can have all of the crystals that you motherfucking want. But if you're not healing, then your soul is tainted. You tainting the motherfucking crystals. You not helping that shit. That shit's not helping you. You can try to do all of the spells that you want, but that shit is not gonna work if you working from negative ass energy. If anything, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass because the energy that you're using is fucked up. And you don't know how to switch it over to some positive shit because you don't know how to be fucking positive. So all of that shit flows together. This is why I tell y'all, using different methods as far as your birth chart, as far as your intuition, as far as the 5 clairs if you have them, as far as, zodiology and astrology and the moon phases and all of these different things, shadow work, ancestors, crystals, meditation, all of that collectively helps you to do what you need to do and accomplish what you need to accomplish. Okay? Can shadow work be done while just sitting in silence? Shadow work is an umbrella term. So all shadow work means is self-development and healing. As long as you're doing one of the two, you are doing shadow work. Sometimes y'all do need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up because you don't never do that. I had to learn that. Y'all know I got the gift of gab. And I have to because of my life purpose and what I'm supposed to do. But, your superpower can also be your flaw. And I had to learn, yeah, you're supposed to talk, but only at a certain time. Other than that, if you see me, if y'all could be a fly on the wall in my motherfucking house, bitch, I don't be in here talking about nothing. I don't open my mouth half the day. I shut the fuck up. I had to learn how to shut the fuck up. If I do talk, I'm talking to myself about myself. That's just that on that. Right? I used to be that type of person. I wanted to call. I had to have a person that I can lean on, that I can call when things went wrong, or when I had an idea, or when something was this, blah, 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 blah. And I had to get the fuck out of that. I had to learn how to be by my fucking self, alone. And alone also means off of social media. Sitting the fuck down and just being. Go out in nature and just be. Sit that motherfucking phone down. If you're going to have the phone around you, put some music on and sit it the fuck down. Don't be on it. Cut the fucking TV off and just sit in the room in silence. If it's raining, cut everything off. You remember back in the day, right? When it would rain, and some old people still do this shit. They tell you cut everything off in the house. Don't take no shower. Cut all the motherfucking lights off and sit your ass down. Don't even move. Just sit there. And by the time you know it, your motherfucking ass done went to sleep, had the best nap of your fucking life, because you done slept through that motherfucking thunderstorm. You sitting there in the motherfucking dark, had them candles lit, and your ass had peace. So sometimes it's as simple as that. Giving yourself something that you never had, which is peace. Some of y'all ain't never had peace. You have never, woke up a day in your life and just didn't have to worry about nothing. No worry, no care in the world. It's never happened. That's not normal. And until you understand that type of shit is not normal, then you will not do what is necessary to get yourself out of those type of predicaments. You should not be waking up still mad about some shit that happened last week. That's not normal, babe. That's not a normal thing. And we wonder why we fucking explode and we pop the fuck off and we go crazy in certain situations. You wonder why. You losing your motherfucking mind. You holding on to all of this shit, and not just from adulthood. You also got childhood stuff that you holding on to. All them times that your mom and your daddy didn't, wasn't there for you, didn't support you, told you no, betrayed you, wasn't there at all. You know what I'm saying? All the times that you was abused, manipulated, talked about, beat the fuck up, bullied. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck happened in school, amongst classmates or whatever. So many motherfucking things you have experienced and you've never talked about it. You've never dealt with it. You never wrote it down, journaled it, said it out loud, tried to figure out a solution, tried to let it go. Nothing. On top of your adult years and what you're experiencing on a daily basis. And you're confused about the fact that you can't walk around this bitch functional. Yeah, you gonna malfunction. The fuck? You need a software update. You done took on all of these motherfucking viruses. You need to clean your motherfucking computer and get an update and install some new protection, bitch. You need some firewalls. Ain't that what they call that shit in IT? Firewalls, so that you don't motherfucking get spam. Come on, that's what healing is. That's what boundaries are. And while you're healing, you also have to put up your motherfucking boundaries. Just like when a caterpillar is turning into a motherfucking butterfly. Is it doing that shit just motherfucking because? Is it wrapping itself in that motherfucking cocoon just because it's Tuesday? No. It's wrapping itself in that motherfucking cocoon because it is growing, it is healing and becoming something new. And because that is happening, it is a sensitive process and it makes that motherfucker liable to be motherfucking taken advantage of because it is in a vulnerable state. So it has to put up these motherfucking, that hard-ass fucking cocoon. So can't nothing fuck with it while it's trying to develop itself into something different. This is why when you start your journey and you start tapping in, you have to let go of the shit that is keeping you stagnant. People, places, and things. Period. Y'all trying to hold on to the very things that you are motherfucking vulnerable to, and the shit is stabbing you, and you're not able to motherfucking heal or grow. You're in a vulnerable ass state. You have to change your mentality. If you are here for a motherfucking reason. It is your job to figure it out. It is not life's job to hand it to you. If that was the case, we will all know what the fuck we doing right now. We wouldn't need no damn intuition. If that was the motherfucking case, if you ain't have to work for it, we all have to work for it. And it's not simple. It's not easy. It's not something that you can just do. It's not something that just happens just because you want it real bad. You got to work for it. And unfortunately, we are in an unfair system. We're in a system that praises the very thing that you're working to get away from. And you have been taught to idolize all of those things that these people are getting, but they are only receiving it one way. They got to sell out for that. It's not just these celebrities that sell out. It's also the people that listen to the music. It's also the people that got OnlyFans that's selling pussy right now. Or dick or whatever the fuck else. It's them too. It's them too. It's the ones making the fucking music. It's all of them. Everybody who was participating, everybody who was eating that shit up, it is all of them. They have all sold the fuck out. And what you're learning how to do is do it the right motherfucking way. If you want to sell out to anything, sell out to your motherfucking self. Because that's the only person that is going to have your back and that is going to be with you 100% of the motherfucking way. You can have a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, a sister, a cousin, a mother, or whoever. I don't give a damn. They don't owe you shit. Love on them while they there. And if they leave, you need to still have something within yourself so that even if they go, they're not taking shit from you. That's the way you got to fucking think. Can I survive without this motherfucker? What are they giving me that if they leave right now, I can't survive? If it's any of the fundamental things, love, peace, happiness, joy, stability, my spirituality, my emotional stability, my mental stability, my freedom, if it's basic things, I need to figure something the fuck out. If they leave me and I don't have my basic necessities, something is fucking wrong. That's the whole motherfucking point. That is the whole fucking point. If whether it's a friend, whether it's a boyfriend, whether it's I don't care who or what the relationship is. If they leave my motherfucking life and I feel like I'm left with nothing, then there is a problem. I need to go back to the drawing board. There's something that I missed. And I can't blame nobody because I missed it. This is a clerical error on my part. Point blank the fuck period. That's why I tell y'all, shadow work is about accountability. Spirituality is about accountability first. You can't move on to none of the other steps without being accountable. Because how can you fix a problem when you don't know what the problem is? How can you fix